Something Real, Chapter 2. 11 months later, she wondered where all the time had gone. She relaxed in the backyard of her new house as she threw the ball for the dog. She sat thinking about what had taken her here, but she still didn't understand how she ended up in Dallas, Texas. She worked hard over the last year to lose any sign of an accent in her speech. She also changed her hair color and lost some weight. She did anything she could to change her appearance, including getting some braces to straighten a few teeth. She had been settled here for a month and was feeling safe again. She had a good job as an insurance adjuster, now that she had an alternate identity. She had decided to take on the identity of her late grandmother. She had found her grandmother's social security number in a small bundle of papers she was able to keep with her. She had a good chuckle with the lady at the Social Security office as she tried to explain her year of birth was transposed. Her grandma was born in 1909, and Abby was able to make her believe the number was confused. She was actually born in 1990. The mistake was corrected and the information was changed in the computer. Now Abby was Isabella James and had all accompanying paperwork to prove it. One early April afternoon, she decided to treat herself to a baseball game. She took her dog, Winchester, for a run and then got ready for the game. She made her way to the game and bought a ticket. It really was a treat. She was going to sit in the field box. She easily found her seat and sat to wait for the start of the game. With her glove in her lap, home team jersey, and matching cap on, she ate her peanuts. Later, she would chase down a hot dog with a beer. She sat and watched batting practice as the crowd started to fill in around her. A man then trotted down the steps wearing an Indians jersey and stopped at her row looking confused. "I'm confused," he said as he looked at her. She looked past herself down the row and realized he was talking to her. "I can see that. Who are you?" he asked her. "The person with the ticket to this seat," she told him, thinking it was an odd question. "But that's Glenn's seat," he commented as he stepped past her to his seat. She looked at him and narrowed her eyes. "Then they better launch an official investigation of the ticket booth lady, because the last time I checked I'm not Glenn, but this is my seat." "Yes, I think you're right," the man said and raised his eyebrows. He pulled out his phone and made a call. "Glenn, where are you? Your seat has been absconded." He listened. "And he listened again. "Yes, she is wearing a Rangers jersey." He listened again. "Yes, a Rangers fan I know." The man rolled his eyes with feigned disgust. "Yes, I know I'm a Rangers fan, but today they're playing Cleveland." He paused again. "I'll call you when I know more." He then hung up. "Hi, I'm Carter Wolf." He offered to shake her hand. She accepted. "I'm Isabella, but everyone calls me Izzy." "I'm just Carter." "Hello, just Carter," she teased him. "Do you like baseball?" "Yes, I thought that was a given since I was at a game," she responded. "Who's your favorite player?" "Ever." "Yes, that's tough," she thought as she considered the question. "Just name one." "Johnny Bench." "Good one," he told her, a little impressed, and nodded his approval. "Why do you have the glove?" "When me and my dad went to a game, we always brought our gloves," she smiled as she thought about those days. "You never know when you might get a foul ball." "Good reason," he said with a smile, and studied her for a moment. "I give you a temporary stamp of approval for game day company." She looked at him with raised eyebrows and a chuckle. "Really?" He laughed, and the game got underway. They talked baseball and what not as the game progressed. She loved the fact that everything that had haunted her for the past 2 years melted away for those few short hours. The bottom of the ninth arrived, and the Rangers were down 2-1 with runners on first and third. The pitcher is going to give him a good inside pitch, and he's going to jack it. Izzy made a bold prediction. "No way. Everyone knows he likes the inside pitch." Carter scoffed at the idea. They watched as the ball was pitched and the swing was made. The ball went sailing. "Go, go," Izzy said as they both jumped up and watched as the ball went sailing over the fence. "Yes." Carter fell into his seat. "I can't believe he gave him the inside pitch." Izzy sat and waited for the crowd to clear. "You know what this means?" Carter said as he sat next to her. Izzy looked at him suspiciously. "What?" "I owe you a drink," Carter said as he looked at her. "Oh, really?" She chuckled, wondering what his game was. "Yeah, I do. Your team won." In dramatic fashion, Carter stated. He noticed she was considering it. "There's a bar right here in the stadium." "Really?" "They stay open a little later on game day," He grabbed his program and stood up, hoping she was going to take him up on the offer. All right, she conceded easily, but just one. She needed to do something regular people do with other people. She walked with him down to the bar and grill. This was a good idea, she said as they walked in. She looked around, liking the fact the place was still packed. A group of men gave Carter a hard time as he walked in. I know, Carter said as he held his hands up, but y'all just wait until next time. The men laughed, and Carter grabbed Izzy's hand, pulling her to the back. Is this all right? He asked before they sat. This is fine, she said as she sat. The waiter came by and placed a glass of water in front of each of them. What can I get for y'all? I'll take a double order of wings and fries, and whatever light beer you have on tap, Carter told him. Sure thing, Carter. And for the pretty lady? She was shocked the waiter knew him by name. I'll take a beer too, Bud in a bottle, and a large order of curly fries, Izzy told the waiter. I'll have that right out for y'all, he said as he left. This is nice, Izzy said as she looked around. You must come here often. Why do you say that? He was concerned by the question, but knew if this was Abby, she would notice things most people wouldn't with her law enforcement background. She was right, and he was curious how she knew. The waiter knew you by name. She looked over at him, waiting to see his reaction, and took a sip of her water. You're right. I come here even in the off-season. Carter grinned at her, knowing most people wouldn't have noticed it. I can see why you come here. It's nice. I like it, he said as he looked over at her. So, do you come to the games often? No, she told him as their drinks arrived. I don't get to the games much. Why not? I was just treating myself today, she told him as she sipped her drink. And at these ticket prices, I don't think I'll be treating myself often. So, you mean I won't get to see you at the games anymore? Probably not, she said as she looked around. Can I at least get your number so I can call you? Carter asked. She turned to him and thought for a moment. Why would you want my number? So, I can call you and convince you to come to a game or two with me, he smiled at her. That is, of course, after I give Glenn a beat down and steal his ticket from him. Izzy laughed. Oh, of course. She looked at him and chuckled. Let me see your phone. Carter handed her his phone, and she entered in her number. Thank you, Izzy, Carter said as he took his phone back. She enjoyed the next couple of hours. She was mostly enjoying the fact that, just for that brief moment, she could stretch the fact that she felt normal again. I wish you didn't have to go, Carter said as they walked the vast expanse of the parking lot. I have work in the morning, Izzy told him as they strolled along. She looked over at him and noted he was a fairly large man and determined he played some college ball at some point. She also figured his blonde hair made him look younger than he actually was. What do you do? Izzy asked him as they approached her truck. I'm in consulting, he told her, which means I do a little of everything at work. Sounds interesting. Izzy smiled over at him. What do you do? He questioned her in turn. Insurance adjuster, she said as they continued walking. Boring. It can't be that boring. He watched her as she walked, wondering if she was who they all thought she was. Well, it's not a desk job, which I'm so not a desk job kind of person, she explained as she stopped at her truck. He smiled at her. That's good to know. He thought for a minute. Can I see your phone? She handed him the phone. I'm going to put my number in here with my name so you know what joker is calling you when I call, he said as he entered his number. She took her phone back and opened the door to her truck. It was nice meeting you, just Carter. He chuckled a bit and smiled. I'll call you soon. She waved and drove off. See you soon, Ranger fan, he said and trotted over to his truck.